Hi everyone, we have a super exciting update this week, so let's see all the new additions. First thing is that we've made a bunch of improvements to the palette down here. So the issue that used to exist is if you had objects of the same type, like say multiple flags or multiple coins, there's no way for you to visually distinguish between them because the icons always look the same. Well, now that's no longer the case. As soon as you make any visual change to an object, the icon will instantly update to reflect that. So say I make this coin pink, well, now the icon updates to reflect that, and that's super valuable because now you can actually distinguish between the objects in the palette. And this of course applies to any visual change that you make, whether it's adding on the scale rule and increasing the scale of an object. That again will get reflected um, in the icon. And this same changed icon, they actually update throughout the app, right? So it's not just in the palette down there, but say you add on pre-made rules like the spawn rule, it will also show up over here. Or you're creating your own custom rules, it will also show up over there. So this is super valuable and super useful. The other addition that we have made to the object palette is we made it easier to locate objects in the palette without actually having to manually search through it. So let me quickly demonstrate that. Say I have placed a few of these flags. I have also placed a few of these coins, and say I want to add more of these blue flags. Now, one way to do it, or at least the old way to do it, is that I would have to scroll through a possibly very long palette and actually locate where that flag is. But the new way to do that is that all I have to do is tap on the object that I care about in the world, and it will automatically select it in the palette down below. So say now I'm going to click on this this pink coin, and now the pink coin gets selected. So if I want to place more of these blue flags, just tap on it and then tap to add more of them into the world. So super easy, super quick to locate an object in your palette. Now, the other big change that we have made, and it's a big, long requested kind of like feature, is we have added the ability to add checkpoints to your game. So you no longer have to frustrate your players by sending them back to the start of the level every time they die. And this will enable you to make much larger levels as a result of it. It's very easy to create a checkpoint. All you need to do is you need to add the checkpoint rule onto any object, and you can make anything into a checkpoint. The only parameters it has is this height, so that's whether it should get hidden once you reach this checkpoint or not, and I'm going to leave this off so it does not get hidden. And you can add multiple checkpoints, right? You can add checkpoints throughout your game so that you can allow players to progress through it without always being sent back to the start. And the way the checkpoint works is it will restore the game to the exact state it was in at the point in time when you touched the checkpoint. So let me just demonstrate that. I'm going to add a few enemies in just so I can do something that, well, causes me to lose health or die. And let's see this. So I'm going to go collect this pink coin, maybe both the pink coins, and I'm going to go touch one of these checkpoints, right? So this one right here. Now, if for whatever reason I end up dying, which I'm going to forcefully do right now by walking into this NPC, it's going to send me back to the checkpoint, and it's going to be exactly in the state that it was in. I had already collected those two pink coins before I touched this checkpoint, right? And you can obviously add multiple checkpoints, and this enables you to create much larger games. Super easy to add it in. Just slap checkpoint rule onto any object and allow players to actually get their health or their state kind of like restored without always having to start from the very beginning of your level. Now let's talk about the other big, huge addition that we have made to this week's update. So just to quickly take you through this, I have these blue coins that I've placed in the scene, and I have this custom rule that I've added onto it, right? And all this custom rule does, you don't have to go into the details of it, but it's basically custom rule that when I hit play and I tap on any of these coins, they get collected and they give me a score, right? So by tapping on the coins directly, they give me a score. Now, say I wanted to actually reuse these coins, right? Maybe I want to create another game where I want this exact same mechanic, these exact same coins, and I want to build a different type of game around it. The old way of doing things was that I would have to basically recreate this entire rule, this entire custom rule. And this is a very small, trivial rule, but the rules could be much more elaborate, and I would have to literally create it from scratch again to recreate that mechanic. Well, now you don't need to do that anymore. What you can see right here is this little new kit icon. And a kit allows you to create reusable objects that you can actually use and reuse across your games. And all you need to do is tap on this kit icon, add in a name, and let me just say this is tap to collect because that's what the coin does. Add in a little bit of a description. I'm saying tap this coin to collect it and get a score. And then I just hit save as kit. And now let's just go into a completely new game. So I'm going to exit out of the editor. I'm going to go into a completely new editor. And if all you need to do is go into the objects tab, hit the plus, and you'll see these new thing options at the top. My kits. You'll see I have my tap to collect kit that I just created. I tap on it. It adds this blue coin into the scene. I can simply tap it on to place them, hit play, and right out of the box, they will do exactly what I had programmed them to do previously. So quickly, I went from creating that in one game to reusing it in another game. And what I also noticed is that you're not just restricted to creating kits for yourself. You can also use kits that have been created by us for you to reuse and create and use game mechanics very easily across your games. And all these kits have been created by Cam, and you can see right out of the box, all you need to do is tap on a kit to add it into a game and start using that game mechanic instantly. A couple of things to keep in mind is that any kit that has this flag icon on it, that will basically get added onto your black GameCube, right? That'll get added onto your black GameCube. Any kit that has the player icon on it will get added onto your player. For any kit that has the camera icon on it will get added to your camera. For all the other kits, they will get added as a new item in your object palette for you to use. So let's just see. Say I want to give my player the ability to maybe move to wherever I tap. So I can just add the tap to move kit. It gets added onto my player. I'm just going to hit play. And now I'm just going to tap. And right there, without me having to do anything, the player is now moving where I tap in the world. And this is super, super powerful because now you don't need to actually create game mechanics or repeatedly create game mechanics from scratch. You can reuse game mechanics across your own games. You can use game mechanics that have been created by us. Or you can just simply jump into Discord and request for a specific kit from us for something that you want for your game. And we can instantly create it and share it with you so that you can start building games much, much quicker, much, much easier, and focus on the things that make your game unique and fun rather than having to work through sometimes the arduous challenges of coding game mechanics from scratch.